Hey, it's Kamori, and today we're going to be making a tote bag inspired by this adorable Star Wars Halloween fabric that I got at Joann's. And the pattern that I'm going to be using is a See & Sew number B6011, and we're going to be making the large tote bag and the smaller little handbag that goes with it. Cut the pieces out of the fabric because I am not lining it in a different fabric. I'm using the Star Wars fabric throughout all of the pieces. I ended up using 2 yards of material instead of the amount suggested on the back. Then we're going to take the pieces for the outside of the bag and baste some fleece onto them to give them a little bit more stability. Next, putting right sides together, sew the bag front pieces together along the sides. Next, baste some more fleece onto the bottom piece of the bag. Then add an additional layer of interfacing on top of the fleece for even more stability. Honestly, I think the interfacing I tried to use was a little too lightweight, and all it ended up doing was bunching up and looking terrible. So I just ripped it off, and I'm going to continue without interfacing on this part of the project. Putting right sides together, sew the bottom of the bag to the front and back panels of the bag. Next, take the top and bottom lining pieces and sew them together along the middle seam. Putting right sides together, sew the bag lining pieces together along the sides. Putting right sides together, sew the bottom of the bag lining onto the base of the bag lining, leaving a small portion open so that it can be turned right side out. And take the bag straps along the top and fold them inwards and press them flat. Putting right sides together, sew the lining to the front of the bag along the opening of the bag, leaving the tops of the straps open. Turn the bag right side out and hand sew closed the hole at the bottom of the lining. Next, we're going to take the straps of the bag and putting them right sides together, we're going to sew them together along the top, and we're just going to be sewing the material that's poking out. You don't want to catch any of the folded material in the stitches. Bring the edges of the straps together and hand sew them closed. And lastly, edge stitch all the way around the opening on either side of the bag to keep the lining in place. And with that, the Star Wars tote bag is done. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. It was my first time using fleece in a bag, and it definitely made it a lot sturdier. The only thing I did notice is that it made the strap very bulky, and it doesn't really look like the image on the front of the pattern. The straps seem very thin and are folded, and this one really did not want to fold at all. But other than that, I'm very happy with how this turned out. I'll probably have the pattern for the little handbag as a separate video since this video is already quite long. For more nerdy DIY videos, please subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.